Hey guys, what's up? It's 74-ish degrees here in FL, and I know it's kind of ridiculous that I'm wearing such a fuzzy outfit, but like when I lived in New York, we had to wear very fuzzy outfits all the time. And now I live in FL, and there's pretty much no reason to wear like fuzzy items, and so like I'm kind of sad about that. And so now that I'm saying I'm a Floridian for wearing this when it's only 74 degrees outside, I'm saying I'm wearing this not because I'm cold, but mainly just because I want to be cozy. See, there's a difference between being cold and you just want to be cozy. And I just want to be cozy, because t-shirts and shorts don't give you that fuzzy feeling inside. Only sweatshirts do, at least for me. And I just really wanted to wear it. So I don't know why I gave you a long explanation for my outfit today. Anyhow, today we're going to be talking all about perfectionism and how, as much as people say you want to do things to the best of your ability, doesn't doesn't always mean being completely perfect all the time. And how trying to be perfect in everything can actually determine your goals in the long run or your task that is at hand. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get started. Okay, y'all, so recently I've been challenged about the whole thoughts and ideas of being a perfectionist. And I never thought that, like being a perfectionist could affect you, but I realize it can. It can determine your long-term goals, your mental health, and just being able to proceed in normal day activities. So my counselor challenged me with this thought, and that is there really too much of a difference between being lazy and couch potato, which is like one of my fears is being lazy, couch potato, and then you get fat and be a glutton. And by the way, a glutton is someone who eats too much. And so to combat that, I always wanted to try to be, I didn't realize I wanted to be, but I try to have this picture perfect schedule, fit in as much as I possibly can in every single day, and try to just go out, hit the road running with every single thing I did, going 1,000 miles per hour, work out, eat well, and you won't be a glutton, and you won't become a couch potato, you won't become fat, and like all these things. And so by going to the extreme end, did I, in essence, the result of that could that possibly be the same as the result of being a couch potato? And she asked me that question, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. But as I thought about it, I kind of see that she was right in that thinking. As in, a couch potato does completely nothing, right? But if you're always trying to be a perfectionist, always need to get this one little tiny detail correct, and you can't because we humans aren't perfect, that's kind of like hitting a wall. If you ever watched a video game and this avatar character just keeps hitting the wall because it in its mind or with the programming thinks it has to go in this direct path. Instead of just going around it, he's still going there, right there, like hitting the wall. He's getting nowhere, as if he just sat on the couch and did absolutely nothing. And that hit me. And I was like, wow. And so then I started looking back over like my life, and when I started to establish schedules in my life a little bit more, and the whole scheduling thing started to become when I had more freedom, which is kind of funny, right? You would think having more freedom means that you are just like have more freedom, but instead I did the complete opposite. I put myself under a regimen and schedule and all these different like rules end standards I kind of made up for myself and all. But anyhow, I looked back and saw that, wow, I was a perfectionist because I couldn't get past the first point, and that was trying to have a picture perfect schedule. And then because I couldn't get that thing, either I just avoided it altogether or I kept trying harder, which then caused anxiety in my life. And so you can kind of see how this idea of perfectionist can lead to one issue to the other and to the other. So I talked about my personal viewpoints of perfectionism and how it has affected me. So on anxiety.org, they gave 7 different ways that perfectionism can be displayed in your daily life. The first one that they mention is performance. That is anything that has to do with kind of like being graded on something. So it would be work or school or being evaluated by someone else, and you need to be perfect, picture perfect just for them. Then you got the neatness. Those are people who cannot stand any dust anywhere in their house. And by the way, I'm giving you examples, okay? These are categories, so I'm just giving you simple examples. Another one is appearance. Those are people who spend hours in the bathroom making sure that the makeup is just right, making sure that their eyebrows look however they want it to look. And, they'd be plucking hair everywhere to make sure they don't have any facial hair if they're women or stuff like that. Then comes organization. This is one of the perfection areas that I think I fit in. Those are people who are concerned with making sure every single thing is organized. See, I can handle dust in my room, but I always feel like my room is constantly a mess because I feel like not everything is organized. Like, I literally have my books organized based on if it's poetry, based on if it's a textbook, and what type of textbook. I have my clothes organized based on what day of the week I'm going to wear those clothing on. As you can see, very much organizational. I already talked about my struggle with scheduling, which I think fits into the organization category. Then you got the writing area. Those are people who can't seem to write a 2-sentence in 1 minute. They'll take 5 minutes because they're rewriting, re-editing to make sure it is completely perfect. Then you got those who are speaking, that display in their speaking. They don't ever really try to speak because they're afraid of mispronunciation or they're afraid of improper grammar. And then you have personal hygiene. Those are the people who can be considered probably health nuts. I probably also fit in that category since I am constantly calculating calories, recalculating how many calories I have, how much protein does this have, how much does this have. And yes, all of these different perfectionism is you want to do your best ability. You don't want to have everything a mess. But there's a point where it gets too far, where you take it to the extreme of where it starts to affect your everyday life and that you can't get past that. It becomes a wall instead of, okay, it's not exactly perfect, but it's not going to detriment my whole entire life, nor is it going to hinder my overall goal or destination of what I'm trying to achieve. So I want to talk about how you can possibly overcome being a perfectionist. So number one, you have to figure out the event. What is causing it? And a lot of times this happens, you figure this out when an event comes up. So for me, I wanted to take this January term session, and there was 2 problems with it. Number one, it messed up my schedule. Number 2, it's only a 2 credit hour course, and all my other courses have been 3-hour credit. So I had this thing in mind that everything needed to be 3 credit courses because I realized I now realize that I'm an organizational perfectionist, and so it wasn't organized in the way I think it should be organized. So that was the event. My thoughts were, second, you gotta identify the thoughts, which I just told you. It messed up my schedule, and it didn't fit the organization of the credits that I had previously planned out. The consequence, that's number 3. So what are the consequences? What is your reaction? That is your emotions and behaviors. My emotion and behavior was to just avoid it altogether, and it caused some anxiety within me. So now that I know about that, I started processing my alternate response. How am I going to respond to this? How am I going to get through that thought process? So then I thought to myself, okay, will this really determine my overall goal? What's the worst that can happen? Will this ultimately determine my goals of where I really want to be in the next 2 years after I graduate from college? No, it will not determine my goal. No, the goals that I have can still be achieved even when my schedule isn't what I thought it should be. I still get the stuff done. And so that's how you work through that. So you have the event, you have the thought, you have the consequence, and you have the alternate response. And my alternate response ended up being, yes, I'm going to take that class anyways, if they allow me to do that, and I have permission to do it. But yes, I'm going to take that class if I can take that class. So that first thing that I just went over with you, I'm going to post a PDF down in the description box below so you guys can look through that too. The thing I want to talk about is a question that I'm learning to ask myself every single time I feel like being a perfectionist about something. And this is it. Will it matter next week to me? Will it matter a month from now? Will it matter tomorrow? Okay? Will this affect my overall goal? And I'm starting to learn that more and more, to say that to myself. Will this really affect me? Will I even remember this next week? Let's start with that. Probably not. A lot of things is I probably won't remember that I messed up 5 calories yesterday. I might remember that tomorrow, but I'm not going to remember that from a month from now. So you gotta think about, will this affect your long-term goal? So you gotta think, a lot of times when it comes to perfectionists, we only think about the moment we're in, and that moment determines life and death. When in reality, we gotta step back and go, wait, this does not even determine life or death. It doesn't even determine a day from now, or a week from now, or a month from now. And overall, it's not even determine my goal in life and where I want to be in the next 5 years from now. So that's the last thing I just wanted to say, is just try to step away from it and see, how does this one little thing really impact me overall? And that's what I'm saying, overall, okay? This whole video up, I want to say, number 1, I'm still learning all about perfectionism. I'm still learning about how it really affects me day to day. It's a journey that I'm on right now, and so I just want to say that. Number 2, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not even in the psychology major. I guess because I struggle with it, I wanted to learn more about it and just to share my information or what I do know about it currently right now. And if any advice help you all, that's great. That's why I make these videos, to share a little bit about my journey and also to share that information with the rest of the community. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped in some way, shape, or form. And as always, please give me a thumbs up. By the way, I have a new website that's different from the old one, so that will be in the description box below. It's a poetry website, but it's from a different format, different platform that works better. As always, please give me a thumbs up. No thumbs down, because that's not nice. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. And I think that's pretty much it. Push the subscribe button, push the bell button, and the word all to make sure you never miss another video again. And comment down below if you have any suggestions about Perfectionist, or if you like my outfit, or anything like that. Love to hear from you. As always, see you next time, and God bless you. Bye.